Hey guys, welcome back to Earth to Us Yoga. If you notice, our setup is a little different today, and I actually don't even have a yoga mat out, and that is because we're going to do a very slow and gentle chair yoga. Now don't let this fool you thinking that chair yoga makes it simple, because it's definitely going to be a good stretch and a great workout. But I want you to grab a chair, preferably a chair without arms, and get into some comfortable clothes, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to begin seated on our chair. We're going to keep a straight spine here, so be very aware of your spine. We don't want to arch that back or round that back. We want to keep a very straight spine. So if you need to reach behind, lifting up those glute muscles a little bit just to get really grounded through the sit bones here, feel free to do so. And we're just going to walk those feet just right out in front of us, so we're not completely sitting back, relaxing into the chair, but sitting more towards the mid to end of the chair here. The feet are planted firmly on the floor, all four corners of the feet planted into the floor here, and we're just going to go ahead and start with that deep breath. So we're going to take those hands down to those knees. We're going to inhale through the nose, and then exhale through the nose. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. Now changing that breath, we're going to inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhale. Now opening up those eyes, we're going to keep that breath in and out of the nose. Through this whole practice, we're just going to start to work our way down the body. So we're going to press those shoulders down and away, keeping that straight spine. We're going to drop that chin down to the chest, really stretching through the back of the neck here. Dropping that chin down to the chest, those shoulder blades are rolled back and away. Taking that deep breath, now we're going to take that chin over to that right shoulder. And then over to that left shoulder. Over to that right shoulder. And then over to that left shoulder. One more time, we take that chin to the right shoulder. Now bringing that chin back to that upright position, we're going to inhale as those shoulders go up. Exhale as they drop back. Inhale as they roll up. Exhale as they drop back. One more time, we inhale as we roll them up. We exhale as we drop them back. We find that good neutral spine once again. Now we're going to take that right hand. We're going to gently scoot over to the left just a little bit, taking that right palm down on the edge of our chair here. We're going to sweep that left arm up and over. So opening through those left ribs here, think about moving that left shoulder away from that left hip. And then taking that left hand down, we're just going to scoot that seat slightly to the right, taking that left palm down to the seat here, and that right arm sweeps up and over. Once again, think about opening through those right ribs here. We pull that right shoulder away from that right hip. And then taking that right hand down, that left arm sweeps. And then that left arm comes down, that right arm sweeps. We're just opening up through the sides here. Bringing that right arm down, getting really grounded through those seat bones again. We're going to take those hands back to the knees. We're going to flatten those feet on the floor. We're going to lead with that navel here. We're going to come into those cats and those cows here. So we're going to inhale. We're going to press that tailbone back, stick that navel out, rock the head up, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, draw that navel in, rounding that spine, dropping the head down. Inhale, drawing the shoulder blades back, the tailbone presses back, the navel presses out, and the chin rises. Exhale, that navel draws tightly in. We slightly tuck those hips under as we round that spine, dropping the chin to the chest. Inhale as we rise up. Exhale as we press back. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, pressing back. One more time, we inhale as we rise up. And then we exhale as we press back, really rounding through that spine, drawing the shoulders forward. And then we come to that neutral spine. Now working our way down to those hips now. We're going to scoot a little bit closer to the end of our seat, still staying really grounded on that seat here. That left leg is going to stay forward with that left hand on that knee. We're going to take that right foot. We're just going to angle it out to the side here, really in line with the foot of this chair here. So the heel is in line with the base of the chair, and you're just going to take that left hand very gently. Just press back on that knee just a little bit here. You should feel that stretch in that inner thigh and then the top of that right quad muscle. So very gently just pressing back on that knee. Maybe some of us have that knee really far back before we get that stretch. Maybe some of us have our leg a little closer to the front, and that's perfectly fine. This is your practice. Always staying within your range of motion, being very gentle with your body. We never want to force anything. So just that gentle stretch to that inner thigh here. That toe is facing outward. We really want to keep that ankle stacked under that knee, and that knee in line with the hip as much as we can. We take that deep inhale. And then on that exhale, we're just going to walk that right foot back in very gently, back in line with that hip, taking that right hand to the knee. Once again, the left hand to the left knee. We're just going to take this left heel out in line with the leg of that chair, keeping that ankle under that knee. We're just going to gently press back on that knee here, opening through that left hip. Like I said, being very gentle with ourselves here. We never want to force that leg to go back. Not forcing anything to go farther than it desires, just getting that good stretch. So if you're feeling that stretch in the leg and your leg is still up here, then that's perfectly fine. Stay within your range. Just as long as we're getting that deep stretch, that good stretch, we never want to feel a strain in those muscles. So just inhaling and exhaling through the nose, we breathe through this whole practice today. And then on that next exhale, whenever it serves your body, we go ahead and we bring that left leg back in. Now taking that spine, making it good and straight. Once again, we're going to take that right heel. We're going to kick that heel out in front of us, flexing that foot. I hope you can see it on the camera here, but that foot is flexed and that heel touches the floor. And then we're going to be very slow, very controlled, and we're just going to drop down towards that leg. Maybe that's a small drop for you. Maybe you can take that left forearm down to that left knee here. Maybe you can even take that right hand down to that right toe, but stay within your range of motion here, whether that hand is at the toe, that forearm is just gently at the knee, or you keep that back a little more upright, just stretching through that hamstring here. Once again, just serving your body here, being very kind and gentle to those muscles, never forcing a stretch. We're not going for the aesthetic of a look here, we're going for the stretch of a muscle. So it doesn't matter if your pose looks exactly like mine, just as long as you're getting that good, gentle stretch, then that's all that matters here. So just breathing here, stretching out the back of that knee, stretching into that hamstring. Taking just a few more breaths. And then on that next exhale, we're going to go ahead and lift that right foot, bringing it back in. Now we're going to take that left heel, extending it out, flexing that foot, dropping the heel down to the mat here. Maybe you take that right forearm down to the knee. Maybe you take that left hand down to the toe. Maybe you just gently lean forward here. Whatever serves your body, staying within your range, but stretching into that left hamstring, the back of the left knee, working your way into that left calf. So just taking just a few breaths here, keeping that spine upright. Those shoulders are staying down, their shoulders are staying rolled back and away from the neck. We're not letting those shoulders draw in, rounding that back, but keeping that back straight. Engaging the muscles of the core here, so that those abdominal muscles keep us drawn in. They keep us from rounding forward with that spine, protecting that back. That's why it's so important to have a strong core, because it protects that spine. And then on that next exhale, whenever it feels good for you, we're going to go ahead and lift that left leg, bending that knee, drawing that left foot back in. Now scooting back just a little bit in that chair. We want to get about half of the hamstrings on that chair now. We're going to inhale as those arms go up. Exhale as we bend through the elbows, really opening through the chest. Releasing the arms down. Now we're going to inhale those arms back up. Exhale, bending the elbows, opening through the chest, releasing them back down. We inhale as they go up. Exhale, bend through the elbows, the chest presses out, dropping those hands down. We inhale, they come up. Bending through those elbows, dropping those hands all the way down here. One more time. Inhale, they float up. Bending those elbows, really pressing back, drawing those shoulder blades together and releasing the hands down. Now we're going to come into those cactus arms that we've warmed up the chest a little bit. So we're going to take those hands, zipping them together in front of us. Those elbows are in line with the shoulders here. Those hands or fingertips are zipped, palms, wrists, all the way down to those elbows. We're going to inhale as we open and rise. Exhale as we close and melt back, so rounding that back. Inhale as we lead with that chest and open. Exhale as we close and melt back. Inhale, we lead with that chest and we open. Exhale, we close the arms, we melt back. Inhale, we lead with that chest and we open. Exhale, we close the chest and melt back. One more time, we inhale as we open. We exhale as we close, drawing those elbows together, releasing those hands back down by the side. Now we're going to stretch through those hips. We're going to wiggle that seat just a little bit farther out, still keeping that those glute muscles firmly planted onto that chair. Now we're going to take that right ankle, we're going to cross it atop that left thigh. And we're going to be very gentle with ourselves here. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, if this is too much for you, then you can go ahead and cross that leg all the way over like you're sitting in a chair. That's perfectly fine as well, but we want to try to get that ankle on top of that thigh here. But like I said, whichever serves your body. Now we're going to keep those shoulders down in a way that spine is upright. We're going to take that left hand over to that right knee, and we're going to take this right arm back to the back of this chair here. We're going to find a gentle twist here. So we're just letting that right arm drape over the back of the chair, twisting into this pigeon, being very gentle with our bodies. Now, like I said, if you need to go ahead and bring that leg over into that cross-legged position, then that's perfectly fine. You're just going to do that same motion here. Just finding that gentle twist, whether those legs are crossed or whether those legs are opened up, whatever serves your body here. We just want that gentle stretch. Taking that deep inhale, that deep exhale. And then on that next exhale, whenever it feels good for you, you're just going to release that back forward. And then uncross those legs. Now taking that left ankle atop that right thigh, if that serves you, or going ahead and crossing those legs on over. We're going to take that right hand to left knee. The left hand is just going to come back to the back of that chair, finding that gentle twist here. We're not forcing the body to open up here. We're being very gentle. Just wringing out that spine. That abdominal wall is still tightly held in here. Using that abdominal wall to protect that spine. And then we use that hand behind us to keep her from slouching back or to keep us from rolling forward. It just helps remind us to keep that spine right. To keep that spine in that straight, upright direction. And then on that next exhale, whenever it feels good for you, we're just going to release that back forward and then uncrossing that left leg. Now we're going to take this right leg, we're going to lift it forward, we're going to bring it out in front of us. Now if you need to, you can take those hands behind that hamstring here. Try not to hold that leg at the knee, but if you need to take those hands back behind that hamstring to help guide that leg, that is perfectly fine. But we're going to flex that foot, really drawing that toe back to the shin here. Flexing that foot, those shoulders are still rolled down in a way, and that spine is upright. We're going to point that toe, sending all the energy out of that toe now. And then flexing that foot. Pointing that toe. And then flexing that foot. And then one more time, we point that toe. Now we're just going to find some circles here with that ankle, whichever direction you choose. Because we're going to move in that one direction, then we're going to change it in just a moment. But find some circles. And then changing that direction, leading with those toes, just massaging that ankle joint. And then releasing that right foot down to the mat. What we do on one side, we must do on the other. So we're going to take those hands over to that left leg. We're going to take that left leg, extending it out long, pointing that toe, sending all the energy out of that toe here. Those shoulders are down in a way that spine is straight. And then we flex that foot. We point that toe. We flex that foot. We point that toe. And we flex that foot. Now we're just going to point that toe, finding those circles, whichever direction we choose. We're not as much worried about the height of the leg here. So if your foot is down here and that leg is a little bent, then that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And then changing that direction, moving in that opposite way. Just massaging that ankle joint. And then release that left leg down to the mat. Now pushing forward just a little bit more in that chair, coming back to where the roundness of the glute meets the end of the chair here. Now we're going to take that right knee, we're going to draw that right knee into the chest, being very gentle here. So if your knee is a little closer down here, then that's perfectly fine, but we're just going to try to draw that right knee up into the chest as much as we can here. Taking a few deep breaths, bringing this right knee in. And then releasing that right foot down to the floor, we're going to take that left knee, drawing it in. Pointing with that toe, sending all the energy out of that toe, just drawing that knee in. Then releasing that left foot, drawing that right knee in once again. That spine is straight, the shoulders are pressed down and away. Releasing that right foot, and then drawing that left knee in. Now releasing that left foot down, we're going to take those hands by our side. We're going to come back into those sweeping arms. So we're going to inhale as those arms go up. Exhale, pressing those shoulders down and away, dropping with those elbows. Inhale, those arms sweep up. Exhale, bending those elbows, really drawing the shoulder blades together, opening through the chest. Inhale, those arms sweep up. Exhale, we open through the chest. Inhale, those arms sweep up. Exhale, we open through the chest, dropping those hands all the way down by our side. Now we're going to bring those hands back in front of us into those cactus arms. So we're going to draw those fingertips, palms, wrists, and elbows together. We're going to inhale as we open and rise. Exhale as we collapse forward, bringing the arms together. Inhale, we open and rise. Exhale, we collapse forward, bringing the arms together. Inhale, we open and rise. Exhale, we collapse forward. One more time, we inhale as we open and rise. Exhale as we collapse forward, bringing the arms together. Then we release the arms down to the legs. Now we're going to come into a little bit of a version of the side angle here. So we're going to take this left leg and we're just going to extend that foot out to the side. Now that heel is going to be drawn in, and then we're going to take that right leg, extending it out to the side as well. So coming into that wide-legged stance almost, but what we're sitting in that chair. So those heels are in line with the base of the chair. Those knees are not tracking over those toes, so we don't want don't want coming up on those toes. We want those heels planted in. Now we're going to take that right forearm down to that right knee, and then we're just going to sweep that left arm up and over. Making sure you're firmly planted in that chair here and you're not dropping forward, but pressing deep into those glute muscles, deep into those sit bones. Gazing up past that hand towards the ceiling. And then taking that left forearm down to that left knee, taking that right arm, sweeping it up and over. Looking up past that right arm. Now taking that right hand down to that right knee, that left hand down to that left knee. We're going to be very gentle here and very aware of our body as we do this. But we're just going to drop that left shoulder forward slightly into that twist. Lifting back up, we're going to drop that right shoulder forward slightly into that twist. Lifting back up straight, we're going to drop that left shoulder forward. Lifting back up, that last time dropping that right shoulder forward. One more time on that left side, dropping that left shoulder forward. Now coming back up right here, we're going to go ahead and change into some standing positions. Now we're still going to use that chair, so don't worry, we're going to use it for guidance and balance here. We're going to go ahead and press into those heels very slowly, standing up. And then we're going to take that chair, we're going to spin it around using the back of the chair here for just a few more poses, just to help guide us. So using the back of that chair, we're going to take those legs, we're going to stack those heels under those knees are stacked under those hips, and then those shoulders are stacked over the top of those hips. So we have that good straight line here. Now, we're going to take those hands down to the chair, and then I want you to stack that forearm on the chair, whichever one you decide to stack, and then we're going to stack that other one on top of it. We're going to drop that head down to the forearms here, using it as balance. So if you need to walk that chair a little ways out in front of you, then feel free to do so. Because we want those legs stacked under those hips here. And we're just going to pedal those legs here. So resting that head on the chair, we're going to bend one knee, straighten the opposite, pressing into those heels here. So we're pressing into the heels of the feet as we straighten those legs. We're just going to pedal those legs out, being very gentle here. Now, if you can't drop all the way down to that chair, then that's no problem. Just keep that straight back here, making sure you're not rounding over, but keeping that straight back as we continue that pedal. That's perfectly fine. Taking those hands to the back of the chair. We're just going to find that movement here, pressing into the heels, pressing into that outer seat. Pedaling those legs. Just a few more here. And then straightening those legs. Now we're going to walk those feet back up to the chair, coming into that straight spine. Now I'm going to turn so you guys can see me, but you can stay facing that chair if you need that balance here. But we're going to take that right leg. We're going to press it out to the side with a pointed toe. And we're just going to lift it just a few times up and off the mat here. We're just testing that balance. So if you're holding on to that chair, you're just going to take that toe, pressing it out to the side. Just a few lifts here. Just testing that balance, and then bringing that left leg back in, taking that right toe out to the side. So switching that direction, taking that right toe out to the side, and we're just going to tap it on the floor a few times here, working on that balance. The only way to gain that balance and to strengthen it is to test it. So just tapping that toe and then bringing that right leg in. Now you guys continue to face that chair for that balance, but I'm going to face y'all so y'all can see what's going on. But we're going to take that left leg now that we've worked on that balance just a little bit, pressing into the four corners of that right foot. We're just going to draw that left knee up and in. Maybe we keep that knee down a little bit. That's perfectly fine, but we're just going to work on that balance and work on that stability here. We've got that chair to guide us. Maybe we don't need that chair quite as much, and we can take that right hand to that hip here. Maybe we need to keep that hand on the chair, whatever serves you. But taking just a few breaths here. And then releasing that left leg back down. Now, keeping those hands on the chair, I'm going to face the back so you guys can see. But we're going to take that right knee in now. So bringing that right knee into the chest. Maybe that balance is a little more steady, so we can take that left hand to that hip. Maybe we need to keep that hand on the chair. That's perfectly fine. But just testing that balance here, stretching through those legs. Taking that deep breath. And then releasing that right leg back down. Now coming into our final pose here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to spin that chair back around. And we're going to come back into that seated position. We're just going to finish loosening up those muscles as we close out this practice today. Be so proud of yourself for all the work that you've done. But we're going to take those hands down to those knees. We're going to drop those shoulders down and away. We're going to open up the mouth here, releasing the tongue from the roof of the mouth, softening the jaw. We're going to roll that head all the way around, one big circle, whichever direction you choose. And then changing that direction, rolling it all the way around, one big circle. Bringing that head back up, right? We inhale, shrugging those shoulders up, and exhale, dropping them back, getting that good straight spine here. Now we're going to take that right hand to the chest, that left hand to the abdomen. We're going to take that deep inhale through the nose, that exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. One more inhale through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Now we're going to take those palms up, down on the knees. We're going to close those eyes. We're just going to reflect for a few moments. Just reflecting in gratitude. Really just coming into this space, being so thankful for mobility, so thankful for the opportunity to move our bodies. Just feeling so grateful for the bodies that we've been blessed with, this physical mobility, being able to move and stretch our bodies, to lengthen and strengthen those muscles. We're thankful for that breath, for every single breath we take. It is such a precious gift. We notice that breath here, the rise and the fall of our chest. We just embrace this space, embracing this breath and this time for just a few moments. We slow down that heart rate. We just rest in that moment of gratitude, being so thankful for this day, thankful for this opportunity. Thankful for the sun that is shining, the rain that is falling, whatever the weather is like where you are at. Thankful for the roof over our head, the floor underneath our feet. We just embrace that breath and embrace that gratitude. We're thankful for our family, our friends, those we hold close. Embrace that gratitude as we walk through the remainder of the day. Ladies, be so proud of yourself for the movement that you have found today, for using that breath and embracing that gratitude. We take those hands down by our side. We inhale as those hands go up. We bring those thumbs down into the chest. Ladies, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Namaste.